guys, Weeby News here, and today I wanted to give some more in-depth thoughts on Enigma Archives Ring Code, the new game that was just announced that's being created by the Danganronpa team. I made a video discussing the announcement the other day, but there has been an update. Spike Chunsoft has released a trailer for the game, and this gave us a much better look at the graphics, music, atmosphere, etc. And wow, does it look good so far. Also, my last video was super duper rushed. I was out of town and I was really busy with family and friends, so I put that video together really quickly, and because of that, I didn't really feel like I was able to give my full opinion on everything. But now I'm back, I've watched the trailer, so I wanted to give a mini analysis of it. And there's also some new information that I think is really interesting as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So like I mentioned earlier, the game is made by the same core creative staff as the Danganronpa team. Kazudaka Kodaka, the creator of Danganronpa, is the writer. Rui Matsuzaki, who was the character designer, is back as well, which of course is probably pretty obvious from the art style. And Masafumi Takeda is the music composer, which again, if you listen to the trailer, you can definitely hear some similarities between the music for this game and Danganronpa, which honestly I was really stoked about since I love the music for Danganronpa. And it's also notable that Kodaka recently tweeted that Takekuni Kiriyama, a detective author who participated in the scenario for Danganronpa V3, will also be helping out with the writing for this game too, which is good news for those of us who really enjoyed V3. It's also really exciting to see the Danganronpa signature design in a 3D world. The models look really amazing in my opinion too. I think they've done a really good job of converting the 2D designs into 3D while still maintaining their original charm. The trailer shows a cyberpunk city, which seems to be a setting that Kodaka loves, since his recent anime project Akutama Drive had a similar setting as well. It's also notable that it's raining, and the main character seems to emphasize this by putting his hand out and feeling for the rain. And in John Awesome's recent video, which I highly recommend you guys watch if you're interested in this game, he noticed a really neat detail regarding the doll in the corner of the street city, which is called a Teruteru Bozu doll. In Japanese culture, they're believed to help stop the rain and guarantee that tomorrow will be sunny. So again, it seems to add emphasis to the weather. So between these two things and the fact that rain is literally included in the title, it seems like weather will be really important in this game. Whether that be story-wise or game mechanic-wise, we'll just have to wait and see. We also see what appears to be the two main characters in this game, a young, innocent-looking boy and a seemingly eccentric girl dressed in gothic Lolita attire. The boy appears to be the protagonist, and notably he has an ahoge too, which like I mentioned in my last video is essential to Danganronpa protagonists, and is almost like a meme considering a character like Kimaru literally grew an ahoge once she became a protagonist. His ahoge does look different from usual Danganronpa protagonists though. His appears to be more in the shape of a question mark, and I'm not sure if this was meant to reference the signature look while differentiating it to signify that this is in fact a new IP, or if the fact that it's in a question mark is meant to symbolize something. Either way, I found it to be notable. Next we have this girl who also appears to be the same character as the ghost mascot, since they both have the devil horns and the crown on their head, and in the ending screen art are kind of circling the protagonist. I feel like this could be meant to symbolize her two different forms and the cycle of her kind of going in and out of it. Another big part that seems to be emphasized in the trailer is the mystery labyrinth. In the trailer we can see that it's this gruesome psychopop looking combination of several famous ancient ruins. Firstly, we see a structure that looks like an Egyptian pyramid, then it looks as if the Roman Colosseum is surrounding it, and the entrance looks to be inspired by the Great Sphinx of Giza. One thing all these places have in common is that they all have to do with death, since executions and gruesome gladiator battles took place at the Roman Colosseum, and of course the pyramids were tombs to house the dead pharaohs of Egypt. And also in ancient Egypt, the Sphinx was believed to be a spiritual guardian, and because of this, figures of the creatures were often included in tomb and temple complexes. And it seems like in the trailer that the girl is pushing him towards the labyrinth and trying to convince him to enter while he seems more hesitant. It's also notable that at one point she seems to be threatening him with a scythe inside of the labyrinth, so although she appears to be the mascot and the sidekick, she also does seem to have a dangerous side as well. I speculate that she wants him to solve the labyrinth for her benefit and that's why she led him there, but of course that's just a guess. And then we eventually see a bunch of snippets from different scenes in the game, and one looks to be the first meeting between the two main characters, since we see her pop up rather dramatically and it seems to scare the main character. Based on the art and the sidekick, it seems like ghosts are a very important part of this game. The main character, at the very least, has the ability to communicate with one ghost, since she's tagging along with him, and at first I assumed he was always able to see ghosts from when he was born, but his reaction in this scene makes me wonder if it's a new ability he's unlocked, and if possibly she's the first ghost he's ever come in contact with. Many of the other clips that they show after this seem to take place inside the labyrinth. In some, the background looks very similar to the psychopop entrance, while many other scenes look more like he's inside an old mansion. I speculate that both are inside of the labyrinth, since in one of the clips it seems like there's a room where you have two doors to choose from, so I'm guessing that area will look more like the outside, while the insides of the rooms you get to choose from have different themes, for example like an old mansion, and I speculate too that each door will lead to a new mystery that they have to solve, for example through the door that leads to the old mansion theme. You have to solve the murder of the pink-blooded girl. There are a couple of other areas too. One looks like a psychedelic mine dive, and the other looks more like an old church. And again, I'd speculate that the doors in the labyrinth lead to these rooms as well. But of course, this is just my speculation. We'll have to wait and see if this actually is the case or not. Next, there's some pretty interesting tweets that Kodaka made regarding the production of this game that I'd like to cover. First, he stated that he wanted it to be the culmination of mystery games that I have made for over 10 years. And of course, what just had its 10-year anniversary, Danganronpa. So he wants to take everything he's learned from creating those games and make this one even better. I remember how proud of E3 he was after he made that game and how he thought it was like his masterpiece. So to hear him say that he believes that this is an even better murder mystery game is very exciting. He also mentioned that he's been working on this project for almost 5 years, which is insane, and that he's been working on it since right after V3's release, which really says a lot in my opinion. I can tell he's really put his heart and soul into it, and from what I've seen, the game looks really promising so far. But yeah, so far out of all the games and new projects that Kodaka's released, I'd say this is definitely the one I'm the most hyped up for, because like I said before, it definitely seems more like the spiritual successor to Danganronpa. And I know in the last video I mentioned that I thought it could connect to the universe of Danganronpa, and I saw some of you guys saying that you think that the Ahoge and the pink blood is really just kind of more to symbolize the direction of the game rather than it connecting to the universe. I think it could be either. I just kind of wanted to mention the idea of them being in the same universe because I thought it was interesting, since, you know, Spike Chunsoft owns the rights to Danganronpa, and this is a collab with Spike Chunsoft. There's pink blood, Ahoges, and weirdly enough, ghosts were confirmed to be canon in the Danganronpa universe. Granted, even if it is in the same universe, I don't think this is like a sequel or anything. I just thought it was an interesting possibility I wanted to throw out. I think at the very most there will just be like references to Danganronpa. But regardless, I'm super excited for this game's release. But yeah, it definitely seems very promising so far, and I really hope soon that we get to see more characters involved in the game. I feel like one of the main appeals of Danganronpa to me was the fact that it had such a big cast, and that they were also like well-rounded. So I do hope that there are more characters that are essential to the plot, that maybe they meet while doing the labyrinth, or something along those lines. But again, all of the stuff that I'm saying in this video is totally speculation on my part. I could definitely be wrong about some of my theories and everything like that, so just keep that in mind while watching this video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you did. It really does help me out a lot. And yeah, let me know if you guys are looking forward to this game as well, and what parts you're the most excited about. And yeah, thanks again guys for watching, and I will see you real soon.